Episode 2 of the analysis of the new Mega Evolutions released in Pokémon Legends ZA, and today we have the absolute GOAT, Drampa. I'm old! Our friend Drampa here in Pokémon Legends ZA has received a Mega Evolution, and I could not be happier for this Pokémon because I really like this Pokémon. I think it was very overlooked when it came out, and it did have pretty good stats as a base. Like 36 speed is an amazing speed for Trick Room, 135 special attack is amazing, and very decent bulk. So you can expect also Normal Dragon is a very interesting typing, and you can expect that the Mega Evolution holy mother of stats. Yeah, 110 defense with 78 HP, 116 special defense is way above just a decent bulk. It's already a pretty good bulk, especially for a Trick Room sweeper, especially because, as you saw, the speed did not change. And level 50 with a quiet nature, which is probably the nature that will be the most used on this Pokemon, is going to be the best. 36 speed is not bad as a Trick Room sweeper. It outspeeds a lot of Pokemon and resists the remaining ones, most of them. We're gonna talk about it later in the video. So, let's talk a bit about Drampa. Unfortunately, again, we don't know the abilities. However, if it were to save and still have one of the abilities that base Drampa has, whether it is Berserk, whether it is Sub-Zipper, which is probably the best one, or Cloud9, it's all pretty good abilities. Berserk can basically make it even stronger, so you can opt for a bulkier Drampa, all invested into bulk and leave alone the special attack. Sub-Zipper, of course, you're going to need a healer of some sort to keep it alive. Sub-Zipper, to avoid being put asleep by a Mongoose, which will still be a problem under Trick Room for this Pokemon. So at that point, you go a bit more on the offensive with the spread, of course. And Cloud9 perhaps is the least useful out of all of these, but shutting down the weather can become very useful. This is talking about if it retains one of the abilities from the base form, which is very unlikely. But Sub-Zipper, giving it to base Drampa, it's probably going to be good. As we know, Drampa, as you can see here, is already a decent Pokemon under the Trick Room, and having it immune to a Mongoose without Mega Evolving it and still dish out a good amount of damage, like 187 without a quiet nature is already pretty good, can be a massive improvement. And if you need it, you may Mega Evolve it to get even more damage out. Now, we've talked about the possible abilities that Drampa may still have, but it's probably going to have a new one. The stats. What can we say about the stats? We already said everything when we started. Very good stats, especially for a Trick Room sweeper. This Pokemon has a lot of potential. Separate, kinda on the other side of the spectrum compared to Mega Starmie, which we covered in the previous video. Mega Starmie is probably going to be one of the fastest Mega Evolutions. Meanwhile, Drampa is going to be one of the best under Trick Room. It's the opposite side of the spectrum, and yeah, we like it. Normal Dragon is a very interesting type because you have Hyper Voice, Stab, you have the Draco Meteor, stab, of course. You should be also have Nasty Plot, no. You have Calm Mind though, which is also very good. And of course, you have a lot more of other moves. You have Light Screen if you need, Rest or Roost if you are running Berserk on the base, the ramp especially. You have Tailwind, but you don't need it. You have Sleep Talk, you have Substitute. You have a pretty interesting, horde of status moves. But these special moves are going to be the most interesting one because look at this coverage, okay? Signal Beam, Surf, Thunderbolt, this is very good coverage. It also looks gnarly, but for today we have Serbi to help us know where new moves may or may not be. So it learns Fly, I guess. But you can see it's pretty much very similar moves overall. The Draco Meteor, Flamethrower. Flamethrower is actually going to be an amazing coverage for this Pokemon, and we're gonna talk about it in a minute. I actually wanted to see it learns Shadow Ball. I actually wanted to see if it has no steel coverage, so no Flash Cannon, no nothing, at least up until now in Legend ZA. But Shadow Ball is actually going to be very good. Oh, I already learned it, perfect. So the moves of this Pokemon are quite obvious. You may wanna Ramp Protect, but here we are seeing a pretty decent amount of moves. Shadow Ball is going to be very important, mostly because the one Pokemon this Pokemon may suffer is Atterrini. Atterrini is slower under Trick Room, faster than Drampa, and it's a fairy type. Drampa won't have the option to Terrastalize, or better, in Pokemon Champions may have the option to Terrastalize, but if you Terrastalize Drampa, you won't Mega Evolve Drampa. So you either build a team around covering for Atterrini, or do something with your Drampa, which is like Shadow Ball or supporting it in some way, but Atterrini is probably going to be the biggest enemy of the Drampa under the Trick Room to make sure this Pokemon reigns supreme under the Twisted Dimensions. So yeah, there's not much else to say. I like Mega Starmie, which was a very bad Pokemon that suddenly got good. Drampa was already a pretty decent Pokemon that got even better. This Pokemon, just to compare, 160 special attack, just to remind you, and let's go in the most recent regulation. 160 special attack is 3 points more than Necrozma Wings and 5 points less than Calyrex Shadow. Just to put in perspective how good this stat is. 160 special attack is an amazing stat, and also has basically the same bulk, a very similar bulk to Necrozma Wings, and way less speed, meaning that Drampa can actually perhaps beat Necrozma Wings under Trick Room, and also something that has become a plus in the recent years. It's completely immune to Calyrex Shadow's Astral Barrage, which is massive. The Dragon typing also gives it a wide amount of resistances, such as Kyogre's Water Spout, any fire type moves, literally anything. This Pokemon has amazing potential. I cannot stress this enough. As per spreads that I suggest personally for Mega Drampa, Quiet is for sure the nature you are going to go with for the most part. I say for the most part because it may happen in some moments of the meta where you may want a bulkier nature. As you can see, the special attack in the Drampa is not lacking at all. So you can go and invest more on the defenses. Very quietly, very good. The important thing is you have a speed nerfing nature with 0 speed IVs. Because this Pokemon is way too slow as a speed stat to be used outside of Trick Room. I know it learns Tailwind. I don't suggest wasting a move slot for such a slow Pokemon. A Pokemon so much catered towards the offense to support the team with Tailwind. I really don't suggest it. Use Tailwind on other Pokemon that may use Tailwind, may use the extra speed such as Mega Salamence, for example. Mega Salamence likes having Tailwind, Drampa does not. Also, another Mega Evolution this Pokemon may do exceptionally good is Mega Gengar. Mega Gengar is one of the strongest Mega Evolutions, especially in terms of stats. There we go. This special attack 170 is no joke. Being immune to one of these stabs, which is the Ghost type, and being neutral to Sludge Bomb is already a big deal, and with these defensive stats it's going to be very important. You can even run a positive nature here on special defense and spread it out. This Pokemon cannot go wrong. It's very difficult to go wrong with how you spread your Drampa. This Pokemon has amazing stats to adapt to any possible scenario in the metagame. Depending on how the meta shapes, you need more defense, you can get more defense. You need more special defense, you can get more special defense. The special attack is still there, is still massive, and this Pokemon will deal massive amounts of damage. When I say massive, I say enormous amounts of damage. Massive, incredible amount of damage. You can go full attack because the meta doesn't have Pokemon that threaten the Drampa. Boom! Just go. Random Hyper Voice go. Now it's going to be very difficult to find no Pokemon that will actually threaten the Drampa and KO it instantly, and once again you cannot let your Mega Evolution go out too fast. It's too much value, it's too much offensive value, it's too much value to your team, it's too much value. So please spread your Mega Evolutions properly, adapt to the metagame, study it. Megalopan is probably going to be one of the strongest Mega Evolutions because it now learns, if I recall correctly, Close Combat, or it was Mega Medicine, I don't remember. Fighting type is good, it's very good, and one of the newer Mega Evolutions is also a fighting type, and it's also very good in my opinion, and may dominate inside and outside Trick Combat. That's a metaphor. Anyway, as for definitive moveset, I'd say Hyper Voice, Draco Meteor, or Dragon Pulse if you don't wanna lose the special attack. I say I will give it Dragon Pulse because this Pokemon is so bulky and has so much special attack that can stay on the field a bit more to shoot more than one Dragon Pulse, so you don't need that sudden burst of damage all the times. You can justify using Dragon Pulse and not nerf your special attack, but in most cases it's probably going to be the Draco Meteor. Then of course Protect, because I think it's again very important to make sure that your Mega Evolutions don't go down too easily. And then I talked so much about how Shadow Ball is good against a Terrini. However, I say that Flamethrower is actually a way better option for 2 reasons. And one of them is probably, mentioning one of them is probably against my best interest, but I'll get to it in a minute. The first one is Mega Mawile. Now, Mega Mawile, I swear there's no bias, is one of the best Mega Evolutions of all time. It's a bit of an underdog usually, but when it gets a team where it fits, it's actually one of the strongest and more threatening Mega Evolutions ever. Now, as you can see, let's give it a brave nature. You outspeed Mega Mawile under Trick Room by 14 points. Now, Mega Mawile is a still Fairy type, meaning it can threaten Playhouse with huge power and a very good attack base stat that will very hurt Drampa. I will put calculations on the screen as usual. So it's your best interest to throw a flamethrower at Mega Mawile as soon as possible. You either attack it for super effective damage, or you may roll a chance of burn. Now usually Mega Mawile runs with rain teams, so your flamethrower damage will be nerfed a little bit, and if there's a good Misty Terrain user, the burn may not occur. However, if you win the Terrain War, if you win the Weather War, Mega Mawile may be checked by that flamethrower. Now, personal suggestion, I will play both Mega Drampa and Mega Mawile together in an Art Trick Room team to best adapt to each matchup. We talked about how much a Terrini can be threatening to Mega Drampa. This is why we dropped Shadow Ball, because as the other Mega Evolution, because it's not unusual to use two Mega Evolutions, you can run Mawile and deal with a Terrini very easily. In my opinion, Mega Drampa and Mega Mawile have this friend-enemy interaction, which I personally really enjoy. So, yeah. The other thing to why I think Flamethrower is the best coverage move for the Drampa is, you guessed it, Among Us. Among Us is Among Us. Nothing can be said about Among Us. He is one of the strongest Pokemon of all time. Will not be stopped, even if we get Brute Bonnet on Champions. Both of these Pokemon are probably one of the best Pokemon ever created. For the sole reason they learn Spore. Now, we talked about how Mawile usually runs with Misty Terrain. You can try and check Among Us inside our Trick Room team with Mega Drampa, with Flamethrower and a Misty Terrain user to stop Among Us from sporing your team. Doesn't help that Among Us speed is still slower than Mega Drampa's. So you need to check Among Us as much as possible. You can also use like a follow me user such as in DD with the safety goggles and use then follow me to redirect the Among Us's spores. Now, we know that in Pokemon Champions Terastallization will be present. We don't know if it will be present with Mega Evolution, but having Flamethrower and bait a Terastallization on Among Us into a water type is already a big thing, because at that point you can just spam damage with one of your stabs and you can save the coverage for another team member. So like, you gotta watch out very much from this particular matchup. Now, possible teams that I can see Mega Drampa being played with, well, we already pretty much talked about it. I think in an Art Trick Room with Mega Mawile as a double Mega Evolution team to bring out the best of your team, no matter the matchup, is going to be one of the best options. This is the first time I may suggest a double Mega Evolution team. It's not going to be the only one, trust me. Of course, Among Us may be very good into a Mega Evolution team, that is, unless we have a Misty Terrain user. And by Misty Terrain I mean Misty Surge. up until now we only have 2 Pokemon. I very much miss Tapu Fini. I don't know if it's going to be on Champions, probably not instantly, but within Galach is there, is very powerful, but I fear that Indeedee may be still there. Up until Tapu Fini is back, I feel like Indeedee is probably going to be one of the best partners for Mega Drampa, because you're going to need a Trick Room setter. Now, you can either take a Terrini and turn it from an enemy, just like Mawile. You can turn it from an enemy to an ally and use a Terrini as a Trick Room setter and also a Trick Room sweeper. I don't remember if it learns Heals Pulse. Yes, you can use a Terrini as a Trick Room and as a Trick Room setter, supporter and sweeper. This way you can keep your Drampa safe, especially if you're running Berserk as base Drampa's ability. It will be a big risk though, so be careful, but it does have Heal Pulse. Indeed, it also learns Heal Pulse and also learns Trick Room, so you can use straight up Indeed as a Trick Room setter. However, coming into Champions, since Indeed female having Trick Room was a glitch that got patched as an actual moveset addition, I don't think Indeed female will get access to Trick Room anymore, because it created quite a bit of problems in the VGC. It was way too powerful. Now, I personally don't complain, but I'm a Trick Room fan, so take my word for what it matters, I guess. Another pretty good Pokemon, maybe Farigiraf. Now, Farigiraf is one of the strongest Pokemon coming out of Scarlet and Violet. Is perhaps the perfect Trick Room setter that doesn't require Indeed to be there at all times. And you can also run it with goggles, safety goggles, Armor Tail to stop fake outs and never stop your strategy. And then you can run whatever you want. You can also run Hyper Voice again, Foul Play, there it is. You can literally do whatever you want. You will still have to look out for Amogus though on your Drampa, because you don't have Indeed to redirect it on the safety goggles. So be very careful if you're using Farigiraf. Now, of course, Atterrini, Farigiraf, Indeed don't exclude each other. However, it's a lot of psychic types, and that may be a problem. But in our Trick Room, especially since Atterrini and Indeed dropped in Sword and Shield, is decently normal. Arma Rouge also dropped recently in Scarlet and Violet and was found in similar teams. Depends on how many dark types are going to be in the meta. And since we're talking about dark types, Incineroar is going to be there. So be very careful once again. But yeah, overall, what I suggest is the usual Art Trick Room setup. You also have Dusclops. Dusclops is with Eviolite, of course. Dusclops is an amazing Pokemon. The ability, unfortunately, is not too relevant most of the time. Like, you have pressure to make opponents waste moves more often. You have risk if you're playing on ladder, but here we're talking about best of 3, so pressure is the best option. Dusclops is very good. Not only it learns Trick Room, it learns Trick Room Pain Split to sustain itself. It also learns Nightshade, which will deal always the same damage, but it also has some amazing supporting moves such as Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, if I recall correctly, so you can actually outspeed under the Trick Room Among Us and taunt it out of the Spore. There you go. I think Dusclops indeed may be the best combination to stop Among Us entirely, but it's up to you. Depends also on the meta, but Dusclops has to be considered as one of the best partners for Mega Drampa. Now, of course, going double Mega Evolution with Mega Mawile is not the only way, it's just a suggestion, but you can also use many other Pokemon that are actually very slow in Trick Room, which, as you may know, there's plenty of them. We already suggested Aterini. Snorlax is tendentially decently good when Ubers or some legendaries, and by some legendaries I mean Urshifu. Snorlax is a very good belly drum user, and if you give Indeedee heal pulse, you can keep it alive for more. You can also give it recycle to continuously recycle the berries. Hyperior is another very good Pokemon under Heart Trick Room because especially of the Solid Rock ability in combo with the Weakness Policy. In Sword and Shield, Hyperior Dusclops was one of the strongest combination of the meta when the meta game started, and in this situation where you have a strong Mega Evolution, a good supporting cast, and a super powerful combo with Bulldoze, meaning you can also lower further the speed of Hyperior. It's a very good combination. Now it gives Bulldoze illegal for Dusclops. We don't know if it will be legal again on Dusclops, but in any case, this will be still a pretty decent combo nonetheless. In case we don't get Bulldoze back, there's Brick Break here, like Dusclops doesn't need offensive stats, you can run 0 and even a nerf in nature, and Hyperior will basically get no damage. So yeah, these are all. Why am I suggesting, am I pressuring so much on another damage dealer on this team? Because having only one damage dealer on any team is never usually suggested. In my last video about Mega Starmie, we talked about stuff like Aegislash as another damage dealer. Here, especially under Trick Room, we have to cover as much ground as possible. So, Mawile, Aterini, Hyperior, plus I'm basically the Trick Room man, so I know a bunch more about the Trick Room, and I know how much it takes to make the strategy work perfectly. So yeah, these are all my team suggestions. Depending on the meta and depending on what available Pokemon there will be, it may change. It's something that will be thought of as we go. Perhaps other Mega Evolutions will also be very good that we will cover in the future. Older Mega Evolution may get buffs, and some already did, such as Mega Aggron getting Body Press. So like, yeah, this is all I have to say for now about Mega Drampa. Let me know in the comments what you think about how old the Dragon that has found new vigor thanks to Mega Evolution. And yeah, let me know what you think about Mega Drampa, and I hope to see you in the next analysis of a new Mega Evolution. Bye!